Hey y'all, it's Listening Lotus. Okay, so I I thought that it was recorded and it wasn't, and I just refuse to start over because I feel like when I start over, if I put these cards back in the deck, something else is going to pop out and it's going to be a different energy. So I am doing something new, okay, and it's only for this. If it happen again, then we'll just we'll just remember this first time. But how are you guys doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I am Listening Lotus. Thank you guys so much for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. Okay, continue to support as y'all support me or whatever. I appreciate all the love. Now, what I did prematurely, we're just gonna say that. Um, these cards came out or whatever. I thought it was recording, it wasn't, so we just gonna go from what I saw. So, first card that came out was the writing card. These cards, the words are so tiny. I hope y'all can read that. It says, writing is a great way to express yourself and sort out your thoughts. Keep a journal to help with reflection. Okay. Overall, what I was getting from this energy is somebody is really cultivating or just really calling to themselves. Um, you know what came to mind when this came out and by this being the first card? I know everybody for the most part should know Erica Badu by now, okay? But Erica Badu had a quote that said, write things down on real paper with a real pen and watch what you basically wrote down appear in real life. And that is some real that's some real shit. Okay, that is some real shit. And the reason why I say that is because the next card ended up being attract. It says have courage and pursue your aspirations with confidence. Visualize yourself already possessing what it is that you desire. So not only are you writing it down, okay, but you are visualizing what it is that you want. And what it is that you want for most of my people out there is love, okay? You want a union. It says coming together in a committed partnership is a foundation of expansion and legacy, okay? So this could be also even just like writing even like a love letter to your person. You don't even know who your person even being more descriptive of what you're writing down, as well as visualizing maybe the person, how they look. And all of these things or whatever, as crazy as it may sound or whatever, who is that? I think they said Megan Thee Stallion. I think they was like she made a post about how she wanted her man to be like athletically built, um, tall, all these different things. And slowly but surely, as she was still focusing on working her world out and bringing the things to fruition as to what she wanted to see have happen for her life, but she got exactly what she wanted to an extent. Do with that what you will, because I don't know her life like that. I'm just using it as an example. But this is those are just two examples of what I mean far as speaking it out, visualizing it, being very descriptive, being very intentional, right? And most importantly, writing the things down. And I would say even go a step further. After you write it down, unless you want to keep a personal copy on your person, on you, burn that shit. Because with adding fire or whatever puts another element of just like the passion and really just kind of like sealing the deal of just like, hey, this is what I want type thing. So do with that what you will. But yes, this is the growing theme of what came out in the cards. And then I'm going to actually go further with a little bit more just to see if there's anything else that is going to come out with this deck. And then if not, we're going to move on to the next one. Okay. But yes, thank you all for hearing my little spiel in the in the beginning because I was a little hurt. I was like, dang, I thought it was recording. So yeah, y'all. Okay, they got a lot to talk about. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that within my little measly minutes. So the first card out after these is hope, having hope. It says difficult situations are not permanent, okay? Rely on your faith and determination to propel you towards the next stage. So there may have been you not feeling as hopeful, or maybe you were even feeling a little bit discouraged about where especially people, there's so much going on about this feedback about the dating field or just the dating pools as a whole. And honestly, you kind of can't feed into none of that, okay? Be mindful, be aware, okay? Keep a lot of it, quote unquote, maybe to an extent in the back of your mind, right? Um, just so that you're making the best possible wise decision when you are dating out here or whatever. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. And I feel like with this card, somebody was just like about ready to give up. And it's like, yeah, no, we don't have to do that. Okay. And then the next card was wellness. Okay. Deciding to maintain good health requires mindfulness. See, it's important to be aware of what you're consuming both internally and externally. You see there, I was literally just talking about that. Like, I do feel like, especially if you are more of a like lover's girl, or more into like just an open heart space and just really just coming from a loving state of mind, right? For it is that the things you want very much well can happen and be willed to you, regardless of whatever the world is talking about, okay? But you have to make sure that you are, for one, not losing hope. Okay, and for two, doing the things that necessarily are going to help you set you up for the best success for what it is that you want. And that's the reason why I had just reiterated before the car had even came out that, okay, you may be consuming a lot more, even with conversations amongst you and your peers or family members or whatever. Maybe there's even certain views as to how they are looking, um, when it comes to, or their perspectives on like relationships and all the stuff or whatever. You can't feed into any of that. Like, you have to literally be almost in a level of delusion far as like, yeah, no, I don't even know what y'all talking about. Like, yeah, my dating life is great and I am attracting what I want. So outside of that, if it don't have nothing to do with that, what are we talking about? Okay. So there's that. And then next you have is territory. It says be confident in claiming what rightfully belongs to you. See, I literally, it's I appreciate that. Thank you. Because the cards be helping us too far as like we already, at least a lot of times y'all will see on my card, like or at least on my channel or my page. A lot of the times I will literally say something and then the card will just double down even more of what I just said. So yeah, with the territory card, it says be confident in claiming what rightfully belongs to you. Make your presence known and mark your territory with grace and assertiveness. Okay. Really understanding that you can have what it is that you want. Like, yeah, we're not wasting no more time on that. Let me go ahead and see what else is going to come out. Okay. So if anything, I think this is just helping somebody with like, okay, most of my singles or whatever. Um, and what y'all got going on when it comes to dating. Like, look, don't lose hope, y'all. Jeez. Okay. Especially now, it's like, how do I put it? I'm not trying to be offensive, but you got just to read the writing on the wall. A lot of times or whatever, when stuff comes out into the quote unquote media in the way that it is being perceived, a lot of times it's the complete opposite. So if they are constantly trying to create a certain level of divisiveness, then there's clearly a clear indication there somewhere, at least depending on who you're talking to or whatever, where somebody might want to even challenge and say, okay, well, I mean, what's so wrong about doing the complete opposite of that? And it can be tricky too, because if you hear a lot of people saying the same thing or whatever, everybody ain't got to be wrong in order for you to be right, right? But there is also you being selective of what you're choosing to be subjected to. Okay. Yeah, we got abundance and we have balance. I love that. Okay, yep. That'll do it. With the abundance card, it says abundance comes from inner fulfillment and outer effort. Okay. What you put out is what you get back. Simple as that. It's the boomerang effect. But what you got is the abundance card or whatever. Really understanding that you are abundance in itself. Okay. And how you are choosing to share and spread that abundance is solely upon to you or whatever. And even when it comes to you having a quote unquote union with a significant other, um, it's still there. Because next you have is the balance card. It says find balance to maintain harmony in relationships. And I'm glad that they put it the way that they put it, because I do feel like that is the ultimate thing that is going on as far as a growing theme. Okay, just speaking to my collective. Um, but there is this constant need for stimulation, and the stimulation is not happening in the most positive ways a lot of times. And I do feel like when it comes to them seeking some form of balance, far as harmonious relationships within like unions of, the complete opposite, or, even it could be a same sex situation or whatever. But most importantly is you understanding that people need people. Okay, that's just that. People need people at the end of the day. So the fact that they are um fill in the blank as to what they is or whatever, or just people as a whole are having this unwilling urge of just like everybody need to be by themselves. Why? Like, really ask yourself some questions, because you can't fulfill or get at least to it. I'm not going to say you can't, because I can't tell you what you can or can't do. So I apologize for that. Let me pause. I'm not saying what you can or can't do, but it definitely can be or tend to be a lot much harder with, even with you trying to obtain a certain level of abundance that you're trying to reach to. It's going to be a lot much easier if you have harmonic relationships and balance within your life. Okay. And they made male and female. So go ahead and do what you need to do. And that goes for both sides. I need to get to it. But this is what I have for you guys. Let me see if there's anything else that happens to want to pop out. Any last little messages or nudges, but this is pretty much clear as day or whatever. Somebody is just really focusing on manifesting, really calling to them, um, their person, okay? Their twin flame. Yeah, I want to kiss you. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. And even with that too, or whatever, because there is this, I'm gonna say it's a pandemic damn near, where people are wanting to be to themselves so much, right? There's not as much physical touch going on, okay? And so it's like, even when you get it or whatever, it's like you gotta almost learn, depending on who I'm speaking to. Uh-oh, card fell. What we got? A blocks and obstacles. Okay. So this could be a potential block or obstacle that you are fighting against, is you being more willful regardless of what is going on out here, collective, far as that love still exists. It still exists, and you want love. Okay. And you willing to be like, let me just work through or figuring out a different way how I can get to the other side of this. Yeah. Friends, fun, support, really going out. Um, is probably another good way to pour into yourself, and really just being out and about, period, or whatever. Because how else, and this is for my girlies that just really introverted and just like to be in the house, but baby, how they gonna find you? And then being mindful of the environments that you go to when you go outside, okay? Simple as that. Be mindful. That's all I gotta say. Be mindful. All right. I heard somebody talking about you, right? All right. I said, what's one more thing? Y'all want to give me. All right, let's start. So, next card, this keep coming out. I love that it keeps coming out, because it really is just double downing and just reiterating to not forget this, because it keeps coming out in most of my readings. But yes, blocks and obstacles. And you understand that regardless of whatever is going on or whatever, like, you can go outside, you're going to have a good time, you're going to enjoy your connections, but you definitely are looking for a balance. But you understand that you also have balance within yourself with knowing your worth. Then the next card we have is purpose, path, and awakening. This is your soul mission. So, and sometimes whatever, people don't really be understanding that. Like, some people, whatever, depending on who you are, that's some people's soul mission is to just pretty much um have the balance in their life with like their yin and yang, and having their partnership. Like, it's a lot more serious for some than others. Some people or whatever, they was here to procreate and do some other things, but this, whoever I'm speaking to or whatever, they understand that this is a part of the union that they have with another person or whatever, and balancing their life out in totality, and having people and friends, and just um overall a healthy and harmonious connections are surrounding you, right? Is part of your purpose. Then you have Ice Queen. Don't back down. I'm sorry, but I also am seeing it says don't look back. Um, so this definitely could be, or not even could be. This is more so just like not even, don't even look at your past. Okay, don't back down at the challenge, understanding that it can be accomplished. Okay, as far as like you even attracting what it is that you want. I think a lot of times, whatever, again, with that hope card coming out, somebody at some point was starting to feel a little bit down about finding new ways in any shape or form or fashion to get this goal obtained, without doing anything wild. Had to fill that in, right? And the reason why I say that is because you are have been actively working on it in all the different forefronts, okay? Even if it was some things that you needed to focus on within yourself, far as like how you show up for yourself, both male and female, it don't really matter. How you're showing up for yourself, how you're presenting yourself. Maybe you weren't as confident as to your ways of communicating, going to a speaking coach, going to work out, feeling the best about yourself, knowing your worth within your body. Um, but being able to bring that out into your exterior, because I feel like there's a lot of people whatever that have beautiful minds or beautiful spirits about themselves, but to a certain extent, this world, a lot of times we may feel like we're going to get eaten alive by being organically who we are, and it's like not understanding that there is a certain level of protection that carries you through. But you still want to be mindful, okay? You still want to have your little your quick footwork. Now let's not act like that ain't a thing. um but you're planning, whether if this is just planning for your future, planning for to get this need met, planning for your, oh, that rat looked like it had a halo, or a mouse. I think this is a mouse, but had to stretch, y'all. I like stretching. It's one of my things. um where was I at? Yeah, putting a plan in motion. Most importantly, not looking back with this Ice Queen or whatever. It's giving adventure time. I'm gonna have to put her over here off to the side. I don't want her staring at me too long. Cover her face up. Okay, girl. Um, this is literally a part of your purpose. And yes, there may be some blockages or obstacles that may be in your way in order to achieve this or whatever, but you understand more so than ever now how fun. Oh, I see that with the fun support. So having support from maybe even friends and I'm gonna say family too, but most importantly friends, helping you come up with different ways to actually get this up off the ground. Maybe y'all all, even you and your friends or whatever, are figuring out ways to attract the unions that you want. Okay. And so putting the necessary steps in place, or doing everything that at least you can do on your end or whatever to have the best possible chance um with achieving this. Okay, because this is definitely a part of your purpose and your path, and you know this. Some people, again, that's why I had to double down. I was like, it's really, um I'm gonna give y'all a little personal play. My grandmother um was a person like this. Like all she ever wanted to do and be was a mom, a nurturer, somebody's wife. Like there are men and women, all I think my granddad, I don't know for sure, but they had such a harmonious relationship because she knew that that was her purpose, that that's the part that she needed to do to be here. She wanted to be the nurturer, and she wanted to be, just like some women want that. They want to be kept up in the house. They want to, and this is no shade to the other archetypes, because I do feel like a lot of the misconception of some of the things that are being portrayed out here in the social media world and stuff or whatever is because people aren't, for one, paying attention and minding their own goddamn business. But for two, um they are just thinking that when it comes to men and women, that everybody is supposed to be the same. And it's like, that ain't the case. There are different archetypes out here, literally. Can you imagine Harriet Tubman being the wife of Martin Luther King? That's two different types of females, respectfully. Um, It's just like that. Or, can you imagine, even on the male spectrum, can you imagine um, a scientist being a cop? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's different. This is the reason why everybody's uniqueness is highly important. Highly important, because everybody can't do everything. But for some reason, we always tend to put everybody in these little cubicle boxes and stuff like that. And sometimes the boxes ain't half bad because somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. Okay, you can't do everything. But yes, this is what I have for you guys. Let me go ahead and see if there's any one more thing that needs to pop up. And then we gonna get on up out of here, okay? But yes, keep hope alive, okay? Whoever I'm speaking to or whatever. If you was getting ready to give up and just be like, I'ma just be by myself, like, baby, that ain't the move. And honestly, you would be doing yourself a disservice, and you would be lying to yourself because you know you want somebody. Everybody wants somebody to an extent, depending on what it is. Sometimes it might even be an animal. Fill in the blank, okay? Okay, I like that. So you've been moving a little too fast. Okay, and you need to breathe. Yep, somebody feeling a little overwhelmed. There we go. Because I'm like, what is going on? And the reason why I say that is because it says slow the fuck down. Okay, seriously. It says take a hint from a sloth. So you need to be literally just allowing yourself to, like, you got this far and this is good. But now it's like, okay, you don't have to go in all gas, no brakes. Like, things are slowly you're going to attract your union or your partnership to you. Okay, slowly but surely. And I know people don't be wanting to hear that because y'all feel like, time need to move when you feel like it need to move. But I wouldn't recommend that because it might even slow the process down even further. I mean that. Okay. And then the next card we have is raise the vibe one breath at a time. Okay. Keep calm and fucking breathe. So this is what I have for y'all, okay? Because somebody is in their head too much about a lot. And it definitely is coming, okay? It's coming. Just and maybe somebody was like need to be said. I feel like somebody was like tired of hearing that coming from out of people's mouths. And they was just like, y'all keep telling me this shit or whatever, and I'm not seeing it. Where so now you're getting impatient, and it's just like, yeah, just chill out. You're gonna be all right. But that is what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Like, share, and continue to subscribe. And in the meantime, in between time, I will talk to you guys. Bye.